This flight has been a total emotional roller coaster. I've just taken off from about 6 o'clock took off. We're now 17 minutes into our flight. I'm at 2,600 feet going 53 knots. So that's an incredible tailwind. It means it's a little bit rough, but I can put up with that for a little while. 20 minutes into our flight, the intention today is to do an FAI triangle in the lower easterly and then come back in the upper westerly. Just got to climb up a little bit to get, well away from the turbulence from that hill that you can see in front of me. Up above me there is a northerly, so it will be getting turbulence, but nothing fails to amaze me about the air. I'm basically into flatlands now, cropping land, so I can choose my height. Legally I can go down to 300 foot above ground level, but I prefer to 500 foot. One, that gives me more time. If there's a problem with my wing, then it also just reduces the noise, and we always try to fly neighbourly. Oh, just dropped down from 900 feet above ground level to about 500 feet above ground level. At 900 feet, I was getting 40 knots ground speed. At 500 feet, I'm getting 50, but it is quite turbulent. And there you can see my MACPARA Blaze wing handling this turbulence quite well. Probably better than I am. I'm not sure that I can put up with this for too long. I think that's a bit of a pain. The northerly has come down much earlier than I hoped. I'm down to 500 feet and only doing 35 knots. Above that, I'm doing even less than that. So from going 50, 55 knots, I'm down to 35 knots. So that's a bit of a disappointment. But we had a good tailwind for a little while. Yeah, the wind is incredibly inconsistent. Just went over a dam and it's glassy smooth. So on the surface there's no wind at all. It may be in a bit of a gully. I'm at about 550 feet above ground level, so sometimes you can't see those sort of ground small gullies or pick them up quite as easily. But yeah, I'm also in quite a bit of turbulence and crabbing as if there's quite a bit of wind from the north. You'll see the land is now more developed. There's tree rows, many more houses, many more power lines. So that's the reason I'm currently at 600 feet. Reasonable landings. There are some orchards coming up, so I will have to divert around them. There's no possibility of landing in an orchard safely. Apart from that, the farmer wouldn't be very pleased either. Just ahead of us, you can see the village of Wombat. So, and if I look at the dams that don't have trees around them, I can see it's blowing northeasterly. So that's the reason why my ground speed has plummeted. I'm 1.3 miles away from my northerly waypoint. When I get to about 1 mile, I will start to climb up. The reason is that when I get to my northerly waypoint, I will turn southwest. I will want to climb to get into the northerly airstream, which hopefully will be a lot smoother than where I'm flying at present. I'm currently doing 39 knots ground speed. I'm expecting as I climb that will decrease. It's now 30, 35, and I am now at it. So we will now turn to my next waypoint. So turning to the left, about 60 degrees, and my ground speed hasn't changed. So I might have to climb a bit higher. By the angle that I'm tracking, I'm still in the easterly. So I'm pretty much on full throttle at present, just trying to get up to the next layer. Which should be a lot smoother. I'm hoping it will. Now my ground speed is increasing. 49, 50. I'm at 2,300 feet above sea level. The weather model suggested that at 3,000 feet I should have 22 knots at 40 degrees. Okay, there's my brilliant MACPARA Blaze. Handling these conditions really well. We've currently got 49 knots ground speed and 2,500 feet above sea level, and we're still climbing. Holy moly. I do hope this smooths out soon. Only 49 knots. Down to 46 knots, so maybe I'm not going to get a smooth northerly wind. I will climb up a bit more, hoping to get into some smoother air. Some smoother air. And if that doesn't work, I will drop down to about 2,600 feet. Okay. Now, it's not going to get smoother. We've now got a westerly component in it, so I will drop down. And even it'll be rough, but at least I will have a better ground speed. Holy moly. This is terrible. This is incredibly turbulent. But I've just started transferring my fuel. Running in properly. There's a bit of a hill to my left. That's to the east. So I climb up, so I make sure that I don't get any rotor from that. even though at my level it is a northeasterly flow, I want to make sure that I'm well above the potential rotor. My fuel has been transferred into the main tank from my bladder, so that's running perfectly. I'm now 5 miles north of Cootamundra, so we'll do a radio call. Cootamundra traffic, Michael Line 3992, 5 miles north of Cootamundra at 2,500 feet, Cootamundra. Ahead you can see the Berthagara gap. I'm not going to be going through that. I'm going to be going to the north of that range that you can see. Divert here a little bit to the north. Stay away from some wooded area. And also the mountain to the north of the Batungra gap. So we're about 10 degrees north of my course. Cootamundra traffic, Michael Line 3992. 9 miles west of Cootamundra at 2,600 feet, heading southwest, Cootamundra. That will be my last call to Cootamundra. As soon as I can take my hands off the brake, I will switch to the area frequency above Jubion. This is probably the roughest air I've ever been in. Had 2 minor tip collapses. So I'm just going to drop down and see if I can get some smoother. And if I wasn't on a mission, I'd probably land at this stage. We're doing 45 knots. Pretty much on track. It's 7:39. So it shouldn't be thermic at this stage, but down to 700 feet above ground level. It seems a little bit smoother here. Being down in the lower does mean it's smoother, but I am sacrificing some speed, and I'll switch to the area frequency, the correct area frequency. So if I was flying higher, I would be doing area broadcast, but there's no real need to do that now. Bumps have settled down a bit, which is fantastic. Currently 700 feet above ground level, doing 48 knots, which is fantastic as well. And the land that we're over is open country, open tropic country, so that's good. There's plenty of nice landings. 14 miles to my westerly turn point. At my westerly turn point, I will climb up, get into the westerly airstream. Hopefully the transition from into that westerly airstream won't be too rough, but having Having been through the transition to the northerly, which was incredibly rough, I should be able to handle that. I'm going to start climbing now. The idea is that when I get to my westerly waypoint, I will have got into the air that's not got an easterly or a northeasterly component. We're now going through a shear layer. I was going to change my camera, but I don't have the mental space to do that. At this stage, we're just focusing on actively piloting. I should have actually started my climb earlier because I'm going to overshoot my westerly waypoint and my ground speed is decreasing. It was 60, now it's 55, 50, 48, 47. So, time to turn around, turning to the right, left I mean, 119 degrees. Holy moly. Yeah, I should definitely have started climbing earlier. Perhaps for young players. We're doing 48 knots, but basically perpendicular to the direction I want to go. I have made a mistake. My only hope is that I can climb into the westerly. No, my engine is surging too. I made a mistake. I should have climbed up much earlier. We're now caught in the northwesterly flow. I'm 18 degrees south of my track and only doing 32 knots and losing height. My engine is surging. I need to be able to climb into the westerly flow. So I'm going to go to neutral trend, and that will hopefully let me climb, which I am now, which is good. So as I said, my only chance is to get into the westerly. A little bit of a recap. I've turned at my westerly turn point. Unfortunately, I didn't climb early enough, so I'm still stuck in the northerly flow, which is taking me south. I'm currently doing 38 knots ground speed, 37 knots but not getting closer to home. My hope is that I will be able to climb into the westerly flow, but unfortunately my engine is surging, not developing full power, so I'm climbing but very, very slowly. So I suspect I won't get into the westerly, and I suspect that that will mean that I won't get home. But I've got good landings below me. I am still climbing at 5,000 feet now, 5,030 feet, 5,040 feet, 5,050 feet, and down to 29 knots. I'm afraid this is the face of disappointment, but I have learned things. There's a little bit of turbulence there, so that may mean that I'm approaching another shear layer. I will know if my ground speed increases. 35 knots, so that's slowly improving. I'm now up to 7,100 feet above sea level, so still climbing. Engine seems to have smoothed out a bit, which is good. I'm now up to 43 knots. It's very gradually been improving. 46.3 miles to go to home. I can now see the Hume Highway, and it's 8:45 in the morning. It's starting to get a bit cooler, so that's a good sign that I'm getting into a different air layer. I'm now up to the town of Gundagai, still climbing. We're up to 44, 45 knots, so that's getting better. Gee, I've really burnt fuel, so my engine must not be running as efficiently as it should be. I'm down to about 6 litres, so I may not have enough fuel. I have reasonable landings in about 5 minutes, and also I'll be able to land next to the Hume Highway, so that will mean that it's easy to hitchhike home. This is definitely the furthest north and the furthest west that I've flown from Yass. So if I do manage to get home, it will be a really good flight. It is simply a process of waiting now to see how things develop. I've got about another 400 feet that I can climb before I get into the East Coast corridor. So it would be fantastic if in that 400 feet I picked up 10 knots of tailwind, but I suspect that won't happen. Oh, just picked up 1 knot. Just picked up 2 knots, so doing 43 knots now. So now I'm as high as I can go. Down there you'll see the Hume Highway. Which will take me home. So the only thing I can do now is fly as efficiently as possible. Don't deviate from my course even by 1 or 2 degrees. Do my steering via weight shift rather than using the brakes. Nurse my engine along and hope that the westerly wind will come down to meet me, because I can't go any higher. Clear skies ahead, other than some haze, so that's nice. 43 engine still going, 8,300 feet, 200 feet below controlled airspace, doing 44 knots, so that seems to be fairly consistent, and 29.3 miles to go. I can see Junior, so I'm now in familiar parts of the world. I'm up to 45 knots, so the westerly wind is descending slowly. It may allow me to get home. I'm considering pulling my trimmers in, and that should mean that I'm flying slower but more efficiently. I haven't done the sums on that. And without, it's a trade-off between speed and litres per hour of fuel that I'm using. Unfortunately, I haven't got good data on that, so I'm not sure if that's the best option. 19 miles to go. We've got 49 knots ground speed, a little bit south of my track. Got a great view of Lake Paramotor Dam. I would turn the camera around, but I'm kind of doing other things at present. It's quite amazing when you're flying. It's as if you've got a certain number of mental and emotional and physical resources, and depending on what's happening, you can be using up all of those resources. So even a simple thing like turning the camera becomes something that I'm not prepared to do, or it will require a fair amount of energy to do. The alternative is for me to point towards Paramotor Dam. I'm also not prepared to do that because I do not want to waste any fuel. It's like I've got 4 litres of fuel, so that should be enough. Oh, gone off course. Fantastic view of Lake Paramotor. I will just do a bit of a diversion. You should be able to see Lake Paramotor there, or Paramotor Dam. 11.5 miles to go. 8,300 feet above sea level. Again, 200 feet below controlled airspace. 48 knots. This flight has been a total emotional roller coaster. Depending on how my fuel is going, I may go north, east a little bit. Looks like I've got 3 litres of fuel left. Probably go east for about 8 miles and then come straight back to my landing. That will increase the size of my triangle. So it has been a fantastic flight. I've learnt lots. I've learnt things that I need to do some maths on, do some research on, as far as getting efficiency but I'm very pleased, relatively pleased with my decision making. And I can now see my landing, which is 5.5 miles away. Very pleased with the MACPARA Blaze wing. Very pleased also with the Nitro engine, even though it was surging for a while. It seems like a very good engine, very reliable. I'll do a carb service on it to see if I can work out what the issue is with the engine surging. I'll just lift up my fuel line. That will drain another 50 mil of fuel into the tank. There's a view out the front. Heading straight down to the gas service centre and my takeoff. And life is good. Woohoo! Oh, scared the living daylights out of me. My wing caused a shadow on me, and I had no idea what it was. Okay, I'm going to head north a little bit, so I'm going to start to descend gradually now, making sure that I do not want to go south at all, because there is there you will see, yes, oh dear, I'm now down to 13 knots. I should have lost height earlier. Oh well, another thing to put in my list of things that I've learned. I'll let out my tremors. That's brought me up to 16 knots. We are progressing, but only at 8 knots. And we're losing height at about 300 foot per minute. Let's just work the problem. We're down to 3 knots now. So if I don't get into the easterly soon, it will take me an hour to get home. Okay, there's the turbulence. Not making any progress towards... now I'm starting to make a bit of progress. Okay, we're up to 21 knots now. There's a dam over there and it looks like an easterly. So that might save me if it is. If you look ahead, you'll see the gas service centre with a very large high tension line and the 4 power lines, and then I'm home. Woohoo! Ahead you should be able to see my car next to that airstrip. So now my job is just to find the wind direction and then get set up for a nice, safe landing. That's unbelievable. My windsock is showing southeast, whereas where I am, it is northeast. And I'm only 600 feet above.
What a flight! Woohoo! I'm back home. If you look up there,
you can probably see the windsock. It's swirling around. It's quite thermic, but yeah, things are good. Woohoo! What a flight! Landed 5 minutes ago. Got out of my vest, my ski jacket, took the fuel bladder off my chest, got out my helmet, parachute, all of these things. Drunk a litre of water. I am really pleased with my Nitro 200 XL in the large frame. Here's my MACPARA Blaze. Really pleased with that. It handled the conditions fantastically. I flew my plan. I did my calculations last night, and it suggested the length of the legs, also the bearing that I should take off on. To do that, I basically put in the wind at different altitudes, the wind direction, the wind speed. I put in my litres per hour fuel burn. I put in my trim speed. I put in how many litres I think it will take me to climb from 2,500 feet to 7,000 or 8,000, depending on where the westerly is. Put all of that in. I've got a spreadsheet that then does the calculation to optimize all of those things and make sure that I get back to my landing with a safety margin of 1 litre